Well, hello, healthcare finance students. Here we are, Module 4, Week 4. Now we're over the halfway point in this course. So, again, one of our regular, I guess, update videos here. Let me first talk about last week and the midterm. So, I always like to double check the stats on the midterms and see how everybody did, kind of in general. So, as you can see here, our average score was 93, so great job there. High score, we had a couple individuals get 100s. There was an adjustment that I made to the midterm. When I looked at all of the questions, there was I would say, a bad question. Anytime I see where there's more than 50% of the folks getting that question wrong, or a small percentage of folks getting the question right, I'll take a look at that for possibly throwing it out. And there was a question, question number 19. It was on expected return, and or I should say it's on realized return. So you had 3 investments. It gave a probability for each one of those investments of it potentially occurring, and then it gave the potential return on those probabilities. There was 3 of them in there. One of them was a 0, so you could skip that one. And the trick of that was the expected rate of return was 11%. And the question said, what is the realized, the realized rate of return will always be 11%, true or false? And that was the word, is realized. And that means real world, what really happened. If things were always, we'd be all millionaires if we could predict exactly what an expected return would be versus a realized return. Now it should be relatively close to that if you're, then that way you have some good modeling, going on. But that was the key question. That was the, I guess the trick is realized versus expected. The question was written correctly, but I do agree it was slightly a little tricky. So everybody got points back. Everybody got a 2.5 lift on their grade. Even if you got that question correct, I decided just to bring everybody up 2.5 points. So the scores that you're seeing here are reflective of that increase. So that looks really good. So I think we're looking really good for the midterm. An average duration of time looks good too. You guys aren't spending a ton of time on that at a little over an hour. So that part looks good. All right, so that pretty much covers kind of what I wanted to tag on for last week. Let's quickly review what we're doing this week. Jump into the module. And Module 4. We do have, for many folks, it'll be a holiday this Sunday. Again, just make sure, if you probably want to take Sunday off, maybe have all these things done before the due date is fine. If as I've said numerous times in the class, I do accept late work. There is a small deduction on points, but if you watch this video, you're going to learn this little, little exception that we're going to do for this weekend only, because it is Easter. And I know many of you will be celebrating with your families, and that Sunday, I want you to kind of just to step away from the books and just focus on that. Whether you celebrate or not, I'll give you some time just to step away from the books. So I will accept all of these assignments one day without any deduction on points. We'll go 24 hours on that. So you really have till Monday at midnight to submit these. So I won't grade them until Tuesday. And as long as they're in there Tuesday, you are absolutely golden. So there you go. You got an extra day if you've watched this video. And if you didn't, well, you'll have it in by Sunday at midnight on the 9th. Typical week this week with our topic essay, our learning activity, and our progress journal. So again, make sure that you're knocking all those out to get all your points. And like I've mentioned before, show your work. Do screenshots when you're using calculators. Try not to do things longhand. You can if you want to, but on those learning activities, make sure, again, you're showing your work so you can get the full points for that, or nearly the full points for that learning activity. Topic essays, make sure that you're covering the topic. This week's topic is risk and return, my favorite one. It's really the whole time value of money and risk and return are really, that's it. When it comes down to finance, those are the two fundamental pillars of the entire thing. So I always like the risk and return paper. That subject could cover, an encyclopedia. But in this week's topic essay, make sure you're at least addressing that in a somewhat, robust fashion within 2 pages. So if you only have 1 page, you're probably a little light on content, and you're going to get some points off. Again, make sure you're about 1.5, at least 1.5 pages. So you're kind of deep into that second page. And then you've kind of known that you've covered that topic robustly. That should, if you're doing that kind of the 5-paragraph format, 5 full paragraphs should get you right to that magic spot where you need to be to get full points and to cover the content sufficiently. And not looking for a great depth, but you should be able to easily knock out 2 pages on risk and return. All right, that covers it for this week, guys. Again, you know how to get a hold of me if you do have any issues or if anything does come up. Everybody have a great week, and if you are celebrating Easter this weekend, everybody have a wonderful holiday, and I'll check in with you next week. Thanks.